My mom was on her knees, clutching her rosary, begging God to fix me. And all I could think was, this is the moment everything either falls apart or finally makes sense. 3 words changed my entire life. I love you. Not from my mom, from my girlfriend. In a text message my mom found while doing my laundry. Yeah, that's how I came out, by accident, to my Catholic mom. And what happened next? I never saw it coming. But let me back up, because you need to understand how we got here. Before I get into this, if you've ever felt like you had to hide who you really are, hit that subscribe button. This is a safe space, and trust me, you're gonna want to hear how this ends. All right, so I grew up in one of those homes where everything looked perfect from the outside. We went to church every Sunday. My mom had this whole routine: wake up, get dressed in her nice clothes, and sit in the same pew we'd been sitting in since I was like 5 years old. She knew everyone. Everyone knew her. She was that mom, you know? The one who volunteered for everything, who organized the bake sales, who could recite prayers faster than I could text. Our house was intense. Not in a bad way, exactly, just very Catholic. There was a cross in every room, every single room, even the bathroom. My mom used to say it was so God could watch over us everywhere. I remember thinking as a kid that it felt more like he was keeping score. She loved me. I need you to understand that. My mom loved me with everything she had, but her love came with rules, expectations, this unspoken list of who I was supposed to be, what I was supposed to want, how I was supposed to turn out. And I tried so hard to be that person for her. I really did. I was 12 when I first felt it. There was this girl in my church choir, Sarah. She had this smile that made my stomach do weird flips. One Sunday, she turned to me during rehearsal and just smiled. And I swear to God, something in my chest shifted, like a door opened that I didn't even know was there. I didn't have words for it yet. I was 12. All I knew was that when she looked at me, I felt seen in a way I'd never felt before, and that terrified me. So I did what I always did when I was scared. I prayed. Every single night, I'd get on my knees beside my bed, hands clasped so tight my knuckles turned white, and I'd beg, please, God, fix me, make me normal, make me like the other girls, make me what Mom wants me to be. I prayed so hard, for years, and nothing changed. You know what the worst part was? My mom always used to say, God doesn't make mistakes, mija. She'd say it whenever I messed up, whenever I felt like I wasn't good enough. She meant it to be comforting, but all I could think was, if God doesn't make mistakes, then what the hell am I? By the time I was 16, I'd gotten really good at pretending, like scary good. I dated boys because that's what you were supposed to do. I'd smile and hold their hands and go to homecoming, and the whole time I felt like I was watching myself outside my body, like I was playing a character in a movie I didn't even want to watch. My friends thought I was picky, my mom thought I was focused on school. The truth, I couldn't feel anything for them. Not the way I was supposed to. Not the way I felt when I met Emma. God, Emma. She transferred to my school junior year, and I swear, the first time I saw her, my brain just stopped. She had this way of laughing that made everyone around her laugh too, and she was so unapologetically herself in a way I'd never been. She didn't hide, she didn't shrink. She just existed loudly and proudly, and I was so jealous of that. We became friends first, best friends actually, and for a while I convinced myself that's all it was. Just friendship, just really close friendship. The kind where you text each other good morning and good night, where you know each other's coffee orders and inside jokes, where your heart races every time you see her name on your phone. Yeah, I wasn't fooling anyone, especially not myself. She told me she was gay about 6 months after we met. We were sitting in her car after school and she just said it, so casually, like it was the most natural thing in the world. I'm gay, by the way, just thought you should know. And I just froze. My heart was pounding so loud I thought she could hear it. I managed to say, "Oh, cool, thanks for telling me," like an absolute idiot. But inside I was screaming, because if she could say it that easily, what did that mean about me, about us? 3 months later, she kissed me. We were at her house watching some movie I can't even remember, and she just turned to me and kissed me.
And for the first time in my entire life, everything made sense. Like suddenly all the confusion and the fear and the prayers just clicked into place. This was what it was supposed to feel like. This was what everyone had been talking about. This was why people wrote songs and poems and made complete fools of themselves. Because when you find it, when you find that person who makes you feel alive, nothing else matters. Except everything else did matter, because I still had to go home. I still had to sit through Sunday Mass and pretend I was the daughter my mom thought I was. I still had to listen to her talk about grandkids and weddings and when you find the right man. Emma was patient. For almost a year, she was so patient with me, but I could see it wearing on her. The hiding, the lying, having to pretend we were just friends when her hand was in mine. I knew it was hurting her. I knew I was being unfair. One night, she looked at me and said, "I can't be your secret forever. I love you, but I need you to love me loud enough that people know I exist." She gave me a month, 30 days, to tell my mom or we're done. And I knew she meant it. I also knew she was right. So I planned it. I was going to tell my mom after Sunday dinner. I had a whole speech prepared. I practiced it in the mirror like 100 times. I was ready. Or at least I thought I was. But life, right? Life had other plans. It was a Tuesday, the most ordinary, boring Tuesday. My mom was doing laundry, my laundry, because even at 18, she insisted on doing it herself. I was in my room doing homework when I heard her call my name. Not like, "Mija, dinner's ready." It was different, quieter. The kind of voice that makes your blood run cold before you even know why. I walked into her room and she was sitting on her bed holding my phone. And I knew, before she said anything, before I saw her face, I knew. Emma had texted me. Just 3 words, "I love you," with a heart emoji. My mom looked up at me and her eyes were already wet. She wasn't angry, not yet. She just looked broken, like she'd opened a door and found a room she didn't know existed. "Tell me this isn't what I think it is," she whispered. I could have lied. I could have said Emma was joking, that it was some kind of inside joke, that it didn't mean anything. I could have bought myself more time, more days of pretending, more nights of praying for a miracle that was never coming. But I was so tired of hiding, so tired of hating myself for something I couldn't change. So I told her the truth. "Mom, I'm gay." 2 words, that's all it took. 2 words and my entire world shifted. She didn't yell, she didn't scream, she just sank, like her bones turned to water. She got on her knees right there on the bedroom floor, grabbed her rosary from the nightstand, and started praying. But she wasn't praying for me, she was praying against me. I could hear it in every word. "Please, God, heal her, fix her, cast out this demon, save her soul." And I just stood there watching my mom beg God to change something that wasn't broken, watching her cry like I died, like I told her I was sick or in danger, like loving Emma was the worst thing she could possibly be. I felt something break inside me, something that had been holding on by a thread, and suddenly I wasn't scared anymore. I was angry.
Quick thing, if you're watching this and you've ever had to fight for someone to see the real you, drop a comment. Let's build a community here. You're not alone in this. Okay, back to what happened next. "Your prayers won't change me," I said. My voice was shaking, but it was mine. Because there's nothing wrong with me. I'm not sick. I'm not confused. I'm not a mistake. I'm just gay. She looked up at me like I'd slapped her. "Don't say that. Don't you dare say there's nothing wrong with this. It's a sin. You know it's a sin." "Loving someone is a sin? This kind of love is." "Why?" I was crying now, too. "Because a book says so? Because a priest says so? Because you say so? Who gets to decide what kind of love is real and what kind is wrong? God decides. Then why did he make me like this?" I was yelling now. I'd never yelled at my mom in my life. Why would he make me gay if it's such a sin? Why would he let me fall in love with someone who makes me want to wake up in the morning if it's so wrong? She didn't have an answer for that. She just cried harder. We stood there, both of us crying, both of us feeling like we'd lost each other. And maybe we had. Maybe the version of me she thought she knew was gone. Maybe the relationship we'd had was over.
But I wasn't going to apologize for being alive. "Did you choose this?" she finally asked. And I asked her back, "Did you choose to love Dad? Did you choose how your heart beats faster when he walks in the room? Did you choose who makes you smile?" She didn't answer. That night was the longest night of my life. I could hear her in her room, praying, the rosary beads clicking together like a clock, counting down to something I couldn't stop. I lay in my bed, staring at the ceiling, wondering if this was it, if I just lost my mom forever, if choosing to be myself meant losing my family. Emma called. I told her what happened. She offered to come get me, said I could stay with her, but I couldn't leave. Not yet, not like this. What happened next morning, I still think about it every day. But before I tell you, if this story is hitting you in any way, smash that like button. It helps more people find these stories. People who need to know they're not alone. All right, here's what happened. In the morning, I heard a knock on my door. I almost didn't answer, but then it came again, softer this time. My mom was standing there, and she looked small. I'd never seen her look small before. She was always this force, this strong, unshakable force. But right then, she just looked lost. She sat down on my bed, and we didn't say anything for a long time. Then, finally, she spoke. "I don't know how to do this," she said. "I don't know how to love you and stay faithful to God. I feel like I have to choose." "You don't have to choose," I told her. "I'm still me. I'm still your daughter. I still love you. I'm just also gay. That's all. Nothing else changed." "Everything changed," she whispered. And maybe she was right. Maybe everything had changed. But maybe that wasn't a bad thing. "I can't accept this," she said. "Not right now. Maybe not ever. I don't know. But..." She reached out and took my hand. It wasn't acceptance. It wasn't some Hollywood movie ending where she hugs me and says she loves me no matter what and everything's perfect. It was messy and complicated and painful. But it was something. It was a door left open instead of slammed shut. "Can you help me understand?" she asked. "I don't think I'll ever fully understand, but can you try to help me?" I nodded, because what else could I do? That was 6 months ago. It's still hard. She still struggles. She still prays for me in a way that feels less like love and more like hoping I'll change. She hasn't met Emma yet. She can't talk about it with her church friends. Sometimes she still looks at me like she's mourning someone who's still alive. But she's trying. She asks questions now instead of just praying. She listens, even when it's hard. Last week, she asked what Emma's favorite food was. It was such a small thing, but it felt huge. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if she'll ever fully accept this part of me. I don't know if we'll ever get back to the way things were. But maybe we're not supposed to go back. Maybe we're supposed to move forward, build something new, something more honest, even if it's harder. My mom still says, God doesn't make mistakes. And for the first time, I believe her. Because I'm not a mistake. Loving Emma isn't a mistake. Being true to myself isn't a mistake. If God made me, then he made me exactly as I am, and I have to believe that was on purpose. I'm still her daughter. She's still my mom. We're still figuring it out. But at least now, we're figuring it out together. And honestly, that's enough for right now. So, that's my story. Not perfect, not a fairy tale, just real. If you've been through something similar, whether with your parents, your family, or anyone who couldn't accept the real you, I want you to know something. You are not broken. You are not too much. You are not a mistake. You are exactly who you're supposed to be. Drop your story in the comments if you feel comfortable. Let's create a space where people can be honest about their journeys, the messy parts, the painful parts, the beautiful parts. And if you know someone who needs to hear this story, someone who's scared to come out, someone who's struggling with their family, someone who just needs to know they're not alone, share this video with them. You might be the person who helps them feel a little less alone today. Subscribe if you want more real stories like this. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss the next one. And remember, your story matters. Your truth matters. You matter. Always know that. So, yeah, see you in the next one. Bye!